our research topic is on developmental trajectory of transition from adolescent to adulthood, a positive youth approach. Like I'm Anitha, research scholar and research associate in Department of Applied Psychology under Dr. Suresh Sudharam sir, who is also the principal investigator of this research. So yeah, I won't be taking much time on introduction, as in these 3 years we have been going through different dimensions of youth and youth development. So I'll just give some few little intro of PYD. As you all know, PYD is a broad approach that aims to build the competencies, skills and abilities of youth that they need to grow and flourish throughout the life for healthy transition into young adults, successful adults. So interestingly, PYD is not from positive psychology. In fact, it emerged from the study of plasticity of developmental process by comparative psychologists and biologists who were actually researching on fusion of biological and contextual organizations. So this the thing is like the interaction between individual and contextual factors is very important, and it actually plays a vital role in the life of a person. So previous study states that recognizing developmental assets of the supporting system of youth and enhancing them will contribute positive youth development. And it also said that it can either be individual or contextual based upon the requirement. So coming into the literature review, I'll just introduce like how we are trying to, like how previous researchers, many kind of theories and models are developed in order to support or protect youth who are vulnerable to risk. Like this is one of that which is developed in 1992, wherein which they have introduced protective factors and risk factors. And this is an ecological model of development in 1974, wherein which how the youth interaction with the environment is given. And then later on in PYD approach, they started developing modules and training modules and skills that actually help youth in order to develop themselves. So 5C model, which is very much a large amount of research is done, wherein which connection, confidence, character, caring, and competence are supporting systems that they have given. And recently, contribution is emerged. This is Chinese version, wherein which they have given different kinds of assets. And this is 40 developmental assets, where they have recognized 40 assets that can help youth in developing themselves. And all these researchers also showed that youth who have higher levels of developmental assets are much likely to engage in wide range of high risky behaviors. So even a lot number of research was done in the Western and some other parts of Asia. The contextual factors and the result of its interaction with individual always leaves space for exploration from place to place and culture to culture. Here in this research, we concentrated on in-depth exploration of how positive youth can be enhanced in Indian context. So our objective of the research is to explore present skills and future potentials, and then the assets that enhance positive youth development and the effect of assets on developmental trajectory of transition from adolescent to adulthood, and the strategies for PYD from youth perspective. And our sample is, we have collected sample from different states of the country and of age between 18 to 23, and it is decided on saturation limit and how many groups are there. We got 4 groups and 6 to 7 participants in each group, so total number of 27 members, and it included both the gender. This is our inclusion criteria. And yes, coming to procedure, we actually made an online call for volunteers, wherein which we circulated the poster. We took the volunteers, and then we have developed a focus group guide from literature review and already available models. And the format questions are like we had main question, and then we developed prop questions, and and the common thing that we do have an exit question. And coming to analysis part, we have selected a thematic analysis, where in which the discussions from the FGD was transcribed, and then these are analyzed, and then primary coding was done, and the codes are converted into basic themes, and then basic themes to organizing themes, and then organizing themes to global themes. So that is how our analysis was done. Coming to focus group guide for our first objective, like what are the skills that required for the youth, we have designed 2 questions. One is like to explore present skills that youth already have, and the other is like what are the skills or future potentials that youth are lacking, that they need, they want. And that was our first objective. And then the second objective, what are the assets or the supporting system that youth need to have. And our third question comes to it's a kind of probe questions, where in which what are the strategies or the assets or the supporting system, the path. We have explored the path that can bridge actually between the assets and the positive youth development. development. So coming to the result, I have kept some few discussions, randomly selected lines from the words of the participants. Like, as you can see, the individual, before knowing about somebody else, he or she should know about themselves first. So that is the main thing, what really need him, what to do, what he wants to do, to what extent he can do. Like, this is the discussion provided by the person, and this actually is like to explore themselves. So it is like going for purpose of life. That's how we have coded. So this is our primary coding, where we got like self-esteem, confidence, decision making, positive attitude, empathy, creative, adventurous, unique, different from others, confidence, self-esteem, willpower, etc., etc. There are around, we got around 100 codes. So those 100 codes are still again redeveloped into basic themes, where in which like the basic themes are like achievement, motivation, where in which the young adults will be motivated towards achieve something in his life. And then college engagement, how much amount of time he spends in the work he learns from the college, and how much time, how much pleasure he have in learning new skills, how much caring he have, how much equality and social justice he is concentrating on, integrity, honesty, responsibility, how much restraint he can done from gratification like spending money or getting into dangerous tasks, how much he can stop himself, and how what caring neighborhood he have, caring policy climate, what are the resources he have, the self-esteem, the personal power, the resistance skills, and how much the community values youth, how much importance that the neighborhood, that the government, that the system gives to the youth, and how much youth as the resources we are using, and how service they are providing, how safe environment we are creating to the youth, what are the family boundaries, expectations, pressures, college boundaries, neighborhood boundaries, what are the adult role models that they have, positive peer influence, high expectations, creative activities, like as nowadays youth are more creative, they are having more exposure to social media, they are having more exposure to online platforms, online learning platforms, and how many programs are there, religious community, what is the time, like how effectively they are spending their time at home, and their health, these all the things, basic themes that are emerged from our FGD. And then again, those themes are again subdivided into organizing themes that are commitment to learning, positive values, social competences, and positive identity, which are again under global theme that are internal asset. And again, support, empowerment, boundaries, expectations, and constructive use of time, that again comes under external assets. So support in this external assets include family, system, community, these all together. So that is how the results obtained from the thematic analysis is also supported by 40 developmental assets framework, which is developed by search engines, which tell that this can actually help the youth to grow into healthy, caring, and responsible adults, which will be an added asset to the economy and the country. And these assets are the protective factors that also help them not to include in any kind of risk. Okay, then so these are all already existing themes that they developed. Everything is like, okay, fine. But what are the challenges in positive youth development in India? So when we are exploring that part, we had some kind of discussions where we have observed some creative imbalance, some imbalance in Indian society, which is actually because of different kinds of situations, like cultural transition from traditional Indian system to Western system, wherein which the parenting style or high collectivism, it's a positive thing, but still that because of high collectivism, high social inclusion, cultural diversity, there is a toxic freedom, toxic identity. Like, let us just see any one, you can just go through any one discussion wherein which how they are explaining what stopping them or what is making them for further.
Your time is up. Please conclude.
Yes, sir. So coming to the strategies, we can actually improvise that by creating modern infrastructure and human resources, development and inclusion of practical modules that give practical hands-on training in real-life environment to existing theoretical models that can augment existing skills and potentials, creating awareness on skills that help DYD, college, school or college, family, community integrated approach strategies should be developed, developing policies that indulge activities that support skill-oriented quality education, investing resources, time and energy on increasing programs that encourage building youth environment positive relationship. So this is what we have prepared from, like how it is if you see the strategist point of view, at micro level, families, relations and individuals, existing skills should be supported. We need to have a space environment, supporting encouragement from the family, and in all the three micro, macro or macro level, youth perception and interaction is very important. The way how youth is perceiving, the opportunities are there, but whether the opportunities are provided, three steps, like whether the opportunities are provided, whether the opportunities provided are available to them, and how they are perceiving, whether they can actually, whether they are able to perceive the opportunity or not. So these are the things that we need to consider when we are going with the practical approach in positive youth development. Like I would like to conclude, like it's not the contextual factors, the indulgence of contextual factors and the individual is not only from Western or recently emerged field. Even we are reading it from past, from our ancestors like Acharya Padam Adate, Padam Sishya Swamedya, Padam Sabrahmachari Bhi, Padam Kalakramena. So that means like each and every aspect, like teacher plays 1/4, student's own knowledge, and then 1/4 will be from peer and 1/4 will be due by time while interacting with the environment. So what are the challenges that we have faced in this research is constructs are developed to use mainstream existing research, 40 assets, 5C or China. But what happened? Indian culture is a challenging culture because of diverse field and different kinds of situations challenging that we are facing because of the flip. So solution is like maintaining willingness to modify prior themes or accumulate and assimilate the new emerging themes into the existing one. So these are the future research and implications of our research, wherein which this is a part of larger project, and we are developing a tool that actually measures the PYD and the SS required for that, and also it can be designed, and that can be handy for the institutions like RGNIYD for designing new or enhancing the existing training programs or modules, and strategies, policies can be developed and introduced in schools and colleges.